Hey, what's up guys? Today I am joined again with Tyler, and yes, we're filming this video on the same day. We're trying to make it look like we're pulling a sneaky on you. We're trying to make it look like we're filming again. We're not doing that because I don't want Tyler to have to fly up here every time we want to film a video together. Thanks. So sorry for tricking you guys, but same day, same shirts, but different ring. So this is a special ring that we've been working together on. I'm gonna let Tyler kind of explain the whole thing, and we're gonna just tell you why it's special. This is one that I'm really excited about. It's actually a really cool ring.
So this is a design that has already been out there. We've already been making this, but as competitive ring makers, we're constantly trying to improve and get better ourselves. And so we try to work together on helping each other instead of fighting each other. And so one of the things that we've developed is we've developed a way to make this glow brighter. We use a new lume that we created called Super Lume, and it glows a little bit brighter and a little bit longer than all the other glow looms that are out there. And by working with Patrick, we were able to do this, and we want to introduce it again, but as a better version of what it was before. And we want to do so by jump-starting it with a 30% discount.
Yeah, so just basically we've been putting a bit of capital into this to develop it, so we just want to get things going right out of the gate. So there's a discount code down in the description. We'll get into more of the details later on in the video, but for now, let's go ahead and get right into making it. All right, before I start explaining the creation process of the ring, I realized we didn't really go over the design of it. So I wanted to take a second and go over that. Essentially, this ring, it's got a really unique look to it. I've never made a ring like this before, and it's really unique to Tyler and the design that he's done. It's actually a triple layered ring, so it's very interesting. It starts off with a carbon fiber liner on the inside, and then we cut out that Super Lume glow resin to put over it on the outside. And then on top of that, we put carbon fiber. And so you'll see at the end the way that it looks, but essentially you've got carbon fiber on the top, carbon fiber on the inside, but then on the edges of the ring, you have this super, super bright luminescent just kind of halo that circles your finger. And so it's just a really interesting look, I just really like the subtle, like stealthy look it has. It looks just like a carbon fiber ring, but it just lights up like crazy at night. So it's a great design. So as you can see from the videos playing in the background, we're just cutting out all the required components for this ring. So essentially we need 3 different pieces of material. So 2 of them are going to be carbon fiber. So we cut a big piece of carbon fiber out, that's for the outer shell, and then a smaller piece that's for the inner shell. And then we switch over to the Super Lume resin. And this resin, I know we hyped it up in the intro, and it really is special. I don't want you to think we're just trying to hype up some regular old glow resin. Tyler has a really insane amount of experience with resin. He's taught me so much, and just the pigments and the glow powders that you can add to it. And I don't want to get into too much detail because I don't want to give away any of his secrets. But essentially he's just done a lot of different things to get the resin to hold a lot of glow powder, which in turn makes the glow super bright. And it also has the added bonus of making the glow last longer. So you can see we're just working on machining all 3 of the pieces down. All 3 of the pieces need to fit inside of each other concentrically, and so they just need to have really tight tolerances. And so you can see as we're machining them down, we're just being very careful, taking really light passes, taking off about 1/4 millimeter at a time is how far we go when we're getting into the point where we're really close to getting the right fitment. So you can see we're just cutting them until they get to the dimensions we need. And you can see right here, all 3 of the pieces fitting together concentrically. Now we know we've got everything built to the correct dimensions. So now it's time to use a 2-part epoxy to give them a permanent connection. All right, now it's been a couple of hours. We've allowed the epoxy to fully cure, and it's time to trim this thing down and sand it to its final dimensions. We've got everything in place at this point, and so at this point, it's just refining what we've already got. And in our finishing process, it's important to note how we finish the carbon fiber. If you didn't know, carbon fiber is pretty tricky to work with. The way that it's built and just the structure of it, it's really easy to chip it or give it really deep grooves if you're cutting it with your lathe cutters like you see us doing. And so the biggest thing to note is you want to use really high speed. You want to use really sharp lathe cutters. You want to make sure they're brand new. You want to keep it very cool. If you have any of the resin that binds it together overheat, then that's going to make your problems much, much worse. And then I'd say my biggest suggestion and biggest tip if you're working with carbon fiber is make sure you do a lot of sanding to it. So instead of cutting it down to your final dimensions, I would recommend cutting it to a certain point, but then using sandpaper to really hone it in. So we start with a really rough grit of sandpaper, and that's a lot more gentle on the carbon fiber structure itself. And so we just sand it down, we give it some nice, comfortable, rounded edges, and then we just work through all the different grits of sandpaper, and you can see we bring it up to a really nice smooth finish, and then we hit it with some polishes, and that gives it a really nice glossy finish. It's going to be really durable. It's going to hold up to all sorts of wear and tear. We don't have any coating or clear coat on this, so it's not going to get scratched or anything like that. So this is just a pure raw carbon fiber, and it just looks really nice. I love that wavy weave pattern that it has. And now it's time to transition over to the inside of the ring, and we're repeating those exact same steps. So I won't just repeat it, obviously, but you can see we trim it down, we sand it up, polish it up, make it look really nice. And we make sure, especially on this ring where we're highlighting the edges, to get a good finish on those edges. So now you can see the ring done, and we turn on a UV light just to show off just how cool that neon fluorescent, it almost kind of reminds me of Tron, just that perfect circle of that lume. It just looks really great. And when it's on your finger, I think it looks even cooler. It just kind of surrounds your entire finger in this it's just wrapped in glow. It's such a cool look. But anyways, guys, I'll leave you with a bunch of cool pictures we took of it. This was a lot of fun to make, and I want to give a special thanks to Tyler for coming up here and making this ring with me and sharing some of his secrets, his design, and all of that. It's just so much fun to work together with different creators. And I think it's really beneficial for you guys too. We were able to make a ring that was really unique, nothing like I've ever made on this channel before. So anyways, guys, like we said in the beginning, we've got a coupon code down for you in the description of this video. That'll give you 30% off this ring. So it's a really powerful code, one that we don't often release, and so if you want to take advantage of that, go ahead and do that. But other than that, I just want to thank you so much for watching. If you want to check out my Instagram, where you can see me post behind the scenes stuff and more just kind of personal stuff, I've got a link to that down in the description, as well as Tyler's. Tyler is a very similar maker to me. He's always doing interesting stuff, so check him out on Instagram as well. But that's the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.